G'day viewers, this is Troy from Troy's Visual Arts channel. I'm going to demonstrate some cool visual effects that I created using my Sony video effects unit, freezing a still frame of a picture and the camera pointed to the telly, and using visual feedback from the camera pointed to the telly and the onboard video effects. So I've been experimenting around with still images and visual feedback and the various effects using my video effects unit. So what I'm going to do here is go over to the effects mode and on my unit and point the camera to a still image that I have on my laptop, and in this case mushrooms. Got on display a photo of some mushrooms, and I'm pointing the camera to the image. So zoom right in until the edges are not in sight on the display, and I'll white balance it so the colours are close to correct. Now on my unit here we've got a function called freeze, which you can freeze the frame, and now that I've frozen the picture that the camera's pointed to, I can move the camera around the place and all you're going to see is the freeze picture. Now, so I've captured me still frame. Now here's where the fun begins. So I'm going to switch over to normal mode, non-effects mode, and here I've got my camera pointed to where it's pointed, and what you see on whatever the camera's pointed to, you see on display. Now I'm going to point the camera to the TV to create some visual feedback. And now I'm going to move the lever over about halfway, and you'll see on display half the picture and half the effects picture, which is displaying the still frame. Now I'm going to do a white balance adjustment on the camera so it's better suited for the visual feedback. And now you've got some instant visual feedback effects from the still frame of the mushrooms. So you're getting visual feedback effects off the mushrooms, which you can now play around with and do all sorts of crazy things. So I can shift the wipe lever back and forth and have the mushrooms turn heaps psychedelic and turn to a psychedelic visual. So just move the lever back and forth and do some crazy visual effects. Also, I can manipulate the still frame. I can add a posterize effect. I can adjust the color tint how I want. I can even make it monochrome, and if I want, and then I can make it monochrome and make it a single color tint. And yeah, do a few different things with the still image, and then I can adjust the wiper back and create some interesting crazy visuals. I'll zoom the camera in more and enlargen the visual feedback a bit more, and here it becomes even more interesting. Move the the colour tint around, and so here I'm adjusting the colour correction tint, and you're getting a different variety of colours, and you're getting some very interesting psychedelic visuals. I'm just moving the lever back and forth once again. Now I'm just going to adjust my camera because the brightness is a bit too much and you just can't see the best pictures. So here I've darkened my camera a bit, so now you can get much better looking view of the psychedelic visuals. Now I'm going to tilt my camera over by about trying to do this with one hand's a bit hard, but I'm going to tilt the camera a bit and by about 20 odd degrees, and you can create some even more interesting visual feedback effects as seen on the screen. And yeah, get like a spiraling effect. I obviously chose mushrooms because yeah, back in the days that psychedelia was popular and all that, magic mushrooms were also the go, and was kind of like a choice image for psychedelia art. Now here's where things get even more crazier. I'm going to now put a luma key on, which I can key out the highlights and lowlights. Here's where things get even more crazier. So here I'm adjusting the low and high gain clip adjustments, which keys out the highlights and lowlights, and keys to the effects image. And yeah, have a look at that. That is just crazy. That's why I can describe it. Very, very psychedelic, very trippy. Let's shift the colours around a bit. Now let's tilt the camera 90 degrees and see what we can create with the camera tilted at that angle. So yeah, it gets even more crazier as you tilt it at a more extreme angle. Now we'll tilt the camera back to its normal position, and yeah, this is something I was experimenting with earlier on, which I thought was really cool. It's like I can make the mushies appear to be throwing off red flame. Just have to make the adjustments right to make it work. I'll see if I can do it. If I can't, don't be too disappointed. Oh, here we go. So I've just adjusting the luma key knobs, and here we've got a bit of flame throwing from these mushies. Alrighty, that's luma key for you. Now let's go to chroma key, where I'm adjusting I'm keying out certain colours, and I'm just going to zoom the camera out a bit so I've got a colour to work with to key out. So we'll key out red because the red's quite dominant, and we'll zoom in a bit and also helps to sort of bring back the effects picture a bit and get a bit of a combination of both, the effects and the normal picture, or the camera picture that is. So and here we can do some crazy stuff with it. And I'll just shift the lever back to normal mode, and yeah, it's just got to bring up a colour in order for me to key and get the mushies and the visual feedback happening. Now I'm just moving the white lever back and forth. Might actually monochromize the mushies, make it a single color tint monochrome, and see what we can get up on display with effects and chroma key. I think it'd probably help to actually tilt the camera once again. We can get some more cool effects happening. And we get a bit more motion happening too, so we're getting some spiral action here. Yeah, I'm just adjusting the colour once again of the mushies, and adjusting the chroma key to key out the dominant colour. I'll actually zoom in a bit more. See what happens. So I tend to get too much blacking out here. I'll shift the lever a bit so we can get the mushies back a bit more. Might bring back the colour of the mushies. Oh yeah, the chroma key adjustment, yeah, it's pretty much I'm adjusting the hue control so it will key out the colour hue that I've got it dialed to. So you kind of have to sort of hunt around and find the colour to key out. So I just got to the blue part, so it's keyed out. Now I'm keying over to the red, keying back to the blue again, and so it's a bit of like you've got to move it around till the colour you want keyed out gets keyed out. Now we'll tilt the camera at 90 degrees and see what we can do here with the chroma key effects and the visual feedback. Might zoom in a bit more even and see what we can do here. Oh, this is pretty cool. So I'm now adjusting the hue once again with the chroma key, and so I'm keying out various colours as I'm going and to keep the effects rolling, and yeah. And I'm shifting the white lever back and forth, and Now I'll zoom the camera out a bit so we can create a bit more busier looking effects. Now I'll actually turn off the chroma key now and just do have the wiper about a third of the way, and about make actually halfway probably better, and just yeah. You've got a very psychedelic looking mushroom picture here. Yeah, the different effects you can get from using the combination of visual feedback, a still image and a video effects unit. There's just so many different effects you can create, and yeah, create instant visual art. It's just such a cool, fun thing to do. Alrighty, I think we'll finish up this video. I could play along with this all day long, and yeah. So now we're going to wrap things up. I'm now going to go back to normal camera mode and zoom the camera out. And then I'm going to go to effects mode where I've got the mushies, turn off the color correction, turn off the posterize, and it's just a normal picture of the mushies. Then we're going to unfreeze the frame and we'll get my camera back. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up the visual effects video on creating visual feedback and artistic effects with a still image. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Troy from Troy's Visual Arts channel, signing out.